All right, guys. So, as promised, I wanted to show you this cool little app. So, I'm sharing my screen on my phone to go through. But right now, this is only available for iPhone and iPad users. The developer has said that they are looking at an Android version. But, anyways, just so I don't take up a ton of your time, I just want to show you this cool app called Model Colors. Um, Now I did show this in a couple of groups before, but I'm not sure if I showed it in this. But it's gotten a big update. So this app will do all sorts of really cool things to help keep you organized. Because if you're anything like me, um, I've got like multiple pots of paint because I can't remember what I've got and what I don't have, and trying to put it in like double metallic silvers. I've got 3 gunmetals. I've got 6 blacks. And mainly because, well, blacks come in a bunch of sets, but I'm gonna kind of break it down because you can't see my fingers and what I'm touching. I'm just gonna work my way from top to bottom and go through this as quick as I can. So basically, this will track your paint, auxiliary products, all those kind of things. But the cool thing is, it's filled with, I think, 7,200 colors or 72,000 colors, and hundreds of brands that are in here. And then things get updated kind of daily, weekly kind of thing. But you can track your paint stash and products that you have. You can build shopping lists. You can do color lists, color mixes. You can track your models, what you own, how many of each. You can do brands. It has a build log, which I think is a little weak in this. I don't quite use the build log because I haven't quite figured out how to use it. Keywords I don't use. You'll see like all colors. Like it has, you name the brands, it's got like everybody that you can think of that's in the hobby side, like Huge Miniatures, Gaahleri, Liquitex, Modelers World, Mr. Hobby, Vallejo, Reaper, Scale 7, Tamiya testers. And it's like, and from there you can go in. Let's go to one like, let's use Tamiya, for example. So this will show like their accessories, shows you what their products are, their putties. Let's just go into one of their putties. You can see what's in here. You can see what you have in, or this is the laminine cement. You can see what you have. You can add it to a shopping list. You can put it on your favorites. You can kind of control everything that goes with it, right down to like their masking tape refills, cements, all their weathering kits. You name it, if it's an accessory and it's sold as an auxiliary product, it's in this database. Their aircraft spray, their flat acrylics, and you'll see the little paint. The little easel on there is something that, so these are in my stash, which I'll get back to, but it's got lacquers, everything that you can think of, right? So for example, if we go to Vallejo, you'll see the auxiliary diorama effects, their Fantasy Pro line, the Mecha, model air, model color, model wash, surface primers, all that stuff is in there, so on and so forth. So we'll go back to the main screen. So this is my stash. And it'll show you everything that's, well, and I have to update it. I have a bunch of model air stuff that hasn't been put in, and a whole bunch of kits I haven't put in. But it basically shows everything that I've got in here. So now when I'm at the hobby shop or I'm at work and I decide I got some free time and I'm trying to order something, I know I'm not ordering doubles and thinking, oh shit, do I have that color or do I not have that color? So you'll see I use like AK interactive washes. I haven't added my AK markers yet, but Mr. Primers, Mr. Hobby primers, my different types of thinners and auxiliary products for Tamiya, and then their flat acrylics, glossy acrylics, one enamel. I have another panel line that I haven't done, my sprays. Vallejo auxiliary products, so that'll be like the thinners, primers, things like that. And then I have Game Color Express, Model Air, and so on and so forth, right? So that's, and like I said, I have to update this. But one of the cool features to the stash is if you hit the plus, and I want to, sorry, the button, the 3 dots on the side, you can actually take this barcode, hit scan, and you'll see, of course, this is a brand new paint that just came out, so it's not there. Let's grab something here. Here's an express color. And we'll scan it. And I'll show you it's Twilight Rose, and you can do it to the stash or add it to a shopping list. And I just add it to my stash and away I go. So this makes things super easy for if you've got a ton of paint and you're just downloading the app and you want to track what you have and what you don't have. It's just super simple. You just scan your barcodes and away you go. Same for the model kits. So shopping list, I have a few things that I'm looking for, like some metallics and some Vallejo shifters that I've been waiting to show up at my local crappy hobby shop, but they're readily available. And then I have a spot for extra items. I can add my evergreen stuff or a razor saw, and I need some white glue. Colorless. Now this is a spot where you can custom mix. Like, so if you use custom mix Tamiya colors for, say, aircraft or something like that, you can put your color lists in here and go. But there's some really cool stuff with that. Color mixes. These are exactly the same thing. So your lists are, you can do a list of your favorite blues or favorite purples. Your color mixes are, you can add your color mixes. You put in your color mix name and then you add your stuff to it. Simple. Models, this is really cool. So here, I'll do an example. Model type. We're going to look at this 92 Chevy Silverado that I've got in my key here. So we'll just cheat this one, 3500. It's a normal kit, and then I'm going to add it. Now when I go into add it, now I can play with a bunch of stuff. So this is an AMT, so I can click brand name. I know it's an AMT kit. It's a 125 scale. The kit ID, whatever the kit number would be on this guy, AMT 149. So you would put that in there. Well, you can add your website if you want. Barcode, I can scan the barcode, which is right there. So on and so forth. And then add your keywords. You can put your build state. You haven't started it yet. Your end state. Have a status that you want to put in, if it's in progress, on hold. You can add all your resources, color list mixes, photos, documents, notes, anything that you want to do. And then you can do your build log entries on this. So as you add your kits and stuff, you can kind of change where you're at. Because if you're like me, I've got multiple kits on the go, and I kind of forget sometimes where I'm at. And especially because I jump between 125 scale auto and then I do 135 scale armored. And I'm trying to get into some sci-fi stuff. So this will go from there, right? So build log again. I don't have any build log entries, but the way I'm guessing it works is you add your kits and start from there, and then you can start adding your build log entries, because you just add it and then it tells if you want to do a time entry or text entry. But like I said, it's kind of its own thing. Keywords, I don't use it, but you'll see here updated colors. I cleared it earlier today and I shouldn't have, but there was a bunch of updates for Mr. Hobby, Splash, and a couple other ones that were in there. And that goes in from there. But search if you're looking for a certain color. So I want to look at blues. Oh. It'll give me anything that falls in the blue hue from every manufacturer that's in here. So if I'm looking for a specific blue, like there's weathering pencils, it'll bring up anything I'm looking for blue. Candy enamels from Allclad, transparent hot metals, all the ammo stuff, Cobra motor paints by Ammo. Like it's super cool, and the database, like I said, is huge. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of colors. And like I will show you before, we could do like search by brand. So it's pretty cool stuff. And then you can request a new brand. So if you've come across a brand that's not in the app, you can plug it in, and they'll slowly add the brand as you go. And again, I'm no way affiliated with these guys, so it's just something that really helps keep me organized. I have my favorite brands that are in here: Tamiya, Vallejo, Splash Paints. Again, I've been kind of playing with it a little bit at night each day to get my stuff in there. My favorite color types I haven't added yet. My favorite colors I haven't added yet. Now, the cool thing about this is, as you know, with the hobby industry and the hobby, or the scale model hobby itself, there's plethoras of information out there, especially when you come into armored, knowing that, German pre-World War II used certain greens that were different from post-World War II, as an example. You can go in and you'll see these are shared color lists by other people, by thousands of people that are in here within the community. So I haven't shared any lists. I have some put together. I've got some really cool purples and blues and some really nice hot rod yellows and stuff that we've created. I'll put in, but these community shared lists are really cool. So they'll like, this is on a list that somebody was using that built up British desert colors, for example. So these are 6 colors that can be used within the North American Mediterranean, 1940 to 43 British desert colors. Let's go through. Here's ammo U.S. Army helicopters. I mean, and this is like bone, horns, and tusks. So it does miniatures as well. It shows you, there's a video that's attached to this one, so on and so forth. So it's pretty straightforward. These are just color lists, okay? Now, if we go back, shared color mixes. This is the coolest feature of this whole thing. And there's a bunch of ass clowns that keep putting in like A and stuff like that. So you just look past all that. But if we go in and look, so an azure blue, for example, that's how to make an azure blue. So it shows you 3 parts purple X16, 10 parts flat white XF2, and then 5 parts medium blue. And it's to me a specified mix. This is very close to Hataka colors, but I prefer Tamiya. So this is somebody who's experimented with the Tamiya paints to get this azure blue for whatever thing. So Star Wars B-Wing body, the gray part, this is how they get the gray for that. And it's like the gull gray, light gull gray. And these are your mix ratios. And like I said, there's dark warm grays, duck egg blue, Earnhardt Wrangler jeans blue. And I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but there's hundreds of mixes that people got, hobbyists have put together. RAF cockpit interior green, how to mix it using Tamiya. Justice red. So there's lots of stuff. There's some really good references for Star Wars and Star Trek in here as well. For I think it was in any of you that do like the Mandalorian. This, it breaks down his entire costume. So his belt, the back of the hands, his Beskar armor, blaster, and boots, which is super cool. And it just breaks it down what your 2 colors are mixed and how it goes. So pretty self-explanatory, especially for the guys that are really good in it. But this can come in handy if you're new and really want to look. Then it'll show any contributed data that I've added to the system. And like I said, I've just got to get some time to get around to it. But again, that comes in when you go into your color mixes up here, right? You add your color mixes, you plug in what you're going to do, and just follow the steps. Super simple to use. Scale calculator. This is super cool. So world to model, and you'll see up at the top here, and model to world. So if you're going to do your scale from whatever you are, you want to do, say, 120, where's it, 125th scale. And then our real length, say the vehicle was 12.6 feet. Close. 12.6 feet, you'll see length on your model. In feet, it'll be 0.50 inches, so on and so forth. So it takes the math right out of it. This is something that, I use quite a bit, but it's very, very cool. And then it shows like a bunch of different mixing ratios. So if you want to look at your mixing ratios, you're trying to get 10 milliliters of paint, and we have 4 colors in the mix, and we know it's going to be like, 3 parts of that color to 3 parts of that to 2 of that to say 5 of that. It'll give you exactly what you need to get 10 milliliters of paint. So this has saved my ass a ton of times when it comes to mixing larger batches for a paint that I use over and over and over and over again, especially when you're airbrushing, because once you get your airbrushing down, you'll find you can stretch a bottle of paint, quite large amounts. So then there's like getting started, how to go through the app and stuff like that. It's their help section is awesome. It'll break down everything that you could come into, what your definitions are, everything. They have anything that's coming for their news statistics, their social stuff. The subscription, I can't remember. It was cheap. I I think it was like $2 a year or $3 a year, or you could do like $7 for lifetime. I can't remember. And then just account information and so on and so forth. But I just thought this might be something that a lot of guys in the group could kind of benefit from. Like I said, I've got to finish putting the stuff into it that I need to, which I'm going to plan on the weekend. And I've got to get my paints caught up because this isn't even, you know, a portion of what I've got for paints. And it just comes in really handy for tracking like things like your cements and little things like that. You can actually build an inventory piece for it. You can track how many brushes you have, and you know what types of brushes you have. And it's just, I know with me, when I get running someplace or I come across something that's got, you know, paints or something like that, I always forget what I've got, and then I end up with doubles, triples, and stuff like that. And it's you know, it just takes up space in the already limited space that I have. So hopefully this works for you guys. Yeah, if this kind of stuff helps, let me know. I've got lots of the stuff that we can put in for our tutorials and tips and tricks. But thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the community.